Good evening, everybody. My name is Prerna, and I represent the enterprise team of Cognixia. On behalf of the team here, I welcome everyone who's present for the session today. I hope all of you are doing safe and very well at your own. Today's session is about SAP HANA and installations and operations for it. Before I hand over the session to our speaker for the day, I will take about a minute or so to introduce Cognitia to you. Moving to the next slide and talking a little about Cognitia, it happens to be a leader in the digital talent transformation space, and we have trained over 1.3 lakh professionals all over the world. We also deliver trainings to 45 countries worldwide and have our tie-ups with 7,000 industry veterans who work with us as instructors, SMEs, and speakers, or as well as consultants. We cater to a 450 plus customer base, and this is all spread across the globe. We are also authorized training partners with Red Hat, Automation Anywhere, ITIL, ISC Square, and we are silver partner with Microsoft. We have lots of rewards and recognitions by our side, some of which are listed on the screens right now. These have technically been won because of the quality and the content of the deliveries that we have been making in specific areas. Um, Moving to the next slide, I'll talk a little about our expertise. These are the centers of excellence that are in front of you, and machine learning and artificial intelligence, microservices, RPA, Internet of Things, big data analytics, cybersecurity, cloud, DevOps. All these are the areas that we have a specialization into. We do a lot of trainings right from the basic to intermediate and until advanced level for all these courses, and there's a lot more to this. Moving to the next slide. Because of the crisis, we have gone completely virtual, and we have been encouraging a lot of live virtual sessions as well, some of which are being shown to you on your screens right now. We have come up with a very exclusive offering of master classes. A little about master classes. Master classes happen to be 1 day extensive hands-on sessions that Cognitia has planned for all the clientele base and other IT professionals that we cater to. These technically start for a day, and at the end you are awarded with a certificate as well. We have done quite a couple of sessions in past, and the upcoming calendar is flashed on your screens right now. We are coming up with a session on machine learning as well as Docker and Kubernetes on 25th of April. That will be followed by an Azure IoT session to be conducted on 9th of May. Further to which, we will have a session on React.js. This will be on 23rd of May. And later on, we will have a session on AWS Cloud. This will be happening on 30th of May. So please do not, go away without giving it a thought, because these are high on practicals. Plus, the speakers are industry veterans and very senior trainers from the L&D space. So I'm sure there's definitely a lot to gain out of the sessions that these would be. Also, the live instructor-led virtual classes, like I was mentioning, we run public batches over the weekends, which have been planned keeping in mind to not hamper your daily activities and daily work. We provide training sessions on data science, machine learning, AWS, Azure, Python, Spring Boot, and microservices, and also ITIL V4 Foundation. So these are certain courses that we can help you with if you want yourself or your colleagues or your friends or family members to be trained upon. And of course, there are a lot many more things that will be coming as a benefit or a perk if you enroll with the courses that we offer. I think I'm good here for now, and we are good to begin with the session today. In case you are not able to hear us properly or not able to look at the video, the visual or the audio is not clear, we would request you to join in again, give it one more shot, and see if things get better. In case it's still persists, we would request you to move to a location, a point at your places where the network is stronger comparatively. In case even that doesn't help, please do not worry. We apologize for that, and we will be sharing the video links, the recording links. The video is very much being recorded today. The session is being recorded, and that will be shared with you as well. Everybody that will be attending the session today. So do not worry about that. We will need some days time to have that shared across on the email IDs that you have registered yourself with. So we are hoping that everything that you have shared here is on point and good to go with, which is going to help you further. Um, so yes, we will take a few questions at the end of the session, and our speaker today, Mr. Shailesh, will be taking up the session now on. There's a chat window towards the right-hand side of your screens, and whatever queries you have, please keep posting it then and there. We will be taking up certain questions, and those will be solved by the end of the session. So over to you, Mr. Shailesh. You can take it up from here.
Good evening, all. This is Shailesh here, Shailesh Mamidwar, and I will be the instructor for the rest of the course today. And I have been into industry for more than 14 years now, and mainly into the technical area of SAP basis, administration, operations, installations, migrations. I have extensively worked on different solutions with large, medium, and small scale enterprises also. And I have extensively worked on HANA since 2014. It's been more than four migrations I have done. And this particular session, which we wanted to conduct, is to give you overview of installation and operations with SAP HANA. And this particular session, I hope everybody who has joined are somewhere aware about SAP, their uh, software, how they work, and everything, so that whatever has been discussed today or will be discussed today will add value. I will try and make sure that as much as possible we will add value to your knowledge. And as Prerna said, we will take up questions at the end of the sessions. So we will have 10-15 minutes at the end of the session, which we will try and answer the questions which is going to come from you. And if there is a lack of time, we will you can post your questions and we'll definitely get back to you with your uh, to the answers. So when we are talking about SAP, let's say 7-8 years ago, and let's say during around 2010-12, SAP had been in the industry more than 30-40 years, and they have a huge customer base, and they have been able to uh, capture the entire market and be a market leader in ERP solutions. So looking at 7-8 years ago, there were so many solutions as we had, and they have very advanced product portfolio, which a large scale of customers across the globe were using. So during the early introduction of ERP systems, the systems year by year, day by day has been enough complex, and and there are some customers who have very complex systems with very large database or very large customer base what they have. So the complexity of the business, definitely SAP was able to cater this particular complexity at a very comprehensive portfolio and with the work what they have done. But the large systems and complex systems has created enough I would say pressure on the IT, or the pressure on the business to manage this entire infrastructure, and which we say the complexity was one of the important factor where business were looking for a solution into. There were so many competitors, so many people who have integrations with SAP, so the system was complex enough, and somewhere we desperately wanted some simplification into the systems which will help us, or will help customers uh, with a proper simplified solution to that particular thing. And that's where I think, we had uh, these are some of the common problems what we were talking about. So due to the complexity or the lack of our hardware, or the lack of responsiveness, a lot of times, you have users which are frustrated enough with speed. You have lack of transparency because of the data. So there were large complex BW systems which we were processing data on a tons of thousands of records they are processing. So definitely the data, getting an updated data was a different task altogether. So a lot of customers who runs FMCG business, for example, they have a very quick reaction to the markets, and they need data, to be analyzed at a very faster speed. And most of the customers were complaining about, having this particular data latency issue. And a lot of time, because of these particular things, the business was more reactive rather than proactive. Of course, if you see, there are so many people, there are so many customers who were struggling with this existing infrastructure what they have. But what they had was also, we would say, at that particular time, it was the latest and it was the best what technology can offer to them. But that was not enough. That is something which I wanted to talk. And a massive simplification was required. So this particular idea, this motivating idea was there with SAP, and they started building that particular idea into a or something called a simplified in-memory database called SAP HANA. So with this particular, SAP HANA database, okay, I don't really call this as a database. It's a complete platform which helps which helps businesses or people to run their entire processing power, whether it is an OLTP system or a OLAP system. Both of the systems can come together and process their applications, processing, data processing. Everything can be done with the help of SAP HANA at a finger of at their fingertips. Why? Because the entire database, or the SAP HANA as a database, has been designed in such a way that it gets your data into in memory. And what is in memory is it actually saves data which needs to be processed in the memory. So think about this. If you are running a report in an SAP and you get your a complex query run within seconds, because the entire data what is required for your query is available directly in the RAM. So it gives you a tremendous amount of speed to the processing, and which helps all the data processing applications or your queries, aggregates, everything becomes faster. And that is where SAP HANA as a database or as a platform has introduced speed at processing in the systems. And if we see this particular database, what this particular database has given is a simplification. Why simplification? Because of the structure what SAP HANA has adopted. It is a combination of a hardware and a software technology. Okay, so basically, it has dramatically improved hardware economics and technology innovations in software. Okay, so its vision is to real-time processing of data for an entire enterprise. So with hardware as well as software, combination of these two technologies, this has made SAP HANA one of the fastest and one of the one of the simplified platform a business could have in today's database. Because as we see, we have a lot of restrictions over. Let's say if we consider 20 years ago, hardware where you have only memories which are supporting, let's say, 1 GB, 4 core CPU RAMs, which are approximately 1 million transistors. But today we have memory, CPU power, which have a tremendous CPU power, which have 2.6 billion transistors in the CPU. And if we are looking at somewhere in near future, we have been looking at a hardware which supports 48 terabytes of memory, and it's a huge, I would say, it's a huge amount of computing power, processing power you have. So today, if we think about this computing power or the processing power, we need to have an ability to consume that particular power or to use that particular power. And if we are looking towards a software or a platform which optimally use this power and gives you the best result, there's nothing, nothing best can happen to that particular, to the systems. So we are talking about, in SAP HANA, 3.4 billion ticks per second, which is amazing, which is a tremendous processing power we have, which is 1 lakh times faster than what we had to, in past. And it's what I meant is 1 lakh times faster. So this is huge. So we had a revolution in the hardware. Definitely we have to adapt to that revolution in terms of we are utilizing that particular revolution. So one of the fundamental, you know, changes what SAP HANA has done with respect to software, as they have converted their they have converted the storage structure into a column store table structure. Here, if on the screen you can see, you have a column store table structure and you have a row store table structure. So ideally, how we previously used to save data was in a row table structure. And if you see here, when we execute a select query of select A and C from a table A, in the column store table, what what you have is all the power or computing power which you have been using to search that particular data. You have only one column to be searched. Here, on previously on a row table structure, we have to go through each and every row we have, figure out where is A, where is C. So what we have been scanning and what we have been using is, let's say, 50% has data has been obsolete for that particular process. And here, when we are talking about a column store structure, the entire 100% processing power has been correctly utilized to bring the data. And there is no wastage of your processing or computing power, which is definitely going to result in 100 times, faster responses to your queries, whatever complex queries you have. So this is one of the revolutionary, storage structure which SAP HANA has, I would say, introduced or adapted, so that you have your complex queries can run at a very tremendously, faster. They can make use of tremendous power as well as they can give you speed. Okay, so this is one of the very important storage enhancement. So now we are talking about the entire utilizing entire power of computing power of the hardware. So definitely we are talking about, let's say, if a customer have, let's say, a 2 terabytes of data. So we are talking about a hardware which is supporting a 2 terabyte of RAM, where his entire database has been brought into the RAM. So we definitely need a certain kind of a hardware to support that 2 terabytes of RAM. So where previously, if you have been experienced with SAP system, you have been gone through this quick sizer tool, where it tells you with whatever inputs or whatever business inputs you provide to the tool, it gives you a estimated hardware you should have. But for SAP HANA, where it has a complete different architecture for its storage and the way it is working, SAP has developed a tool called HANA Quick Sizer tool, which is, if you are implementing or if you are migrating to SAP HANA, you should be utilizing this particular tool only for HANA systems sizing, because definitely the appliances are going to be big. So SAP has partnered with some of the leading appliance providers, which helps you get these appliances, because these are custom made or tailor made appliances which will create through IBM, Hitachi, Lenovo, all these leading appliance providers. will help you with building this particular hardware. So whenever we are talking about any project, implementation project or a migration project, sizing is one of the important factor which a project has to consider. And SAP has given a quick sizer tool specifically for HANA, which you can find it in your support.sap.com, where HANA Quick Sizer, which will take you through the multiple questionnaires, which you will input all your business inputs, and it gives you number of SAPs required, and accordingly you can design your hardware. Okay, so the whole and whole, you have a different, or we have a special tool for HANA sizing. So as we are talking about HANA journey, so HANA is it's been there since 2011, and HANA currently been supported by Linux platform only, and SUSE Linux, and right now into after 2016, they have also included Red Hat Linux system, and you also have support for IBM Power Systems for HANA. So you have only Linux platform, which is available for your support, available as a supported platform for SAP HANA, whether it is a CLS, now Red Hat, or IBM Power Systems. So for installation of HANA, SAP has created a lifecycle management tool called HANA Database Lifecycle Management Tool, and it is a tool which is used for installing SAP HANA 2.0 on your Linux platform. So we have both the versions. We have uh, a command line interface version, as well as we have a graphical user interface version, which helps us install SAP HANA on your Linux database. So we can use any of this HDB LCM and HDB LCM GUI. These two programs or two scripts has been delivered for command line as well as graphical user interface. So once we have, so these are some of the steps which we are going to do for HANA installations. So for any software or any product to be installed, we need a media. So download SAP HANA media from Service Marketplace. Then place media on your directory location on your server. Log into your OS as a root user. Then you can run your move to HDB LCM folder, HANA Lifecycle Database Lifecycle Management folder, which is Linux x86 64, and there you will run HDB LCM GUI with, if you want to start it at a GUI user interface, a graphical interface for HDB LCM GUI. If you want a command line interface, you can run a HDB LCM as a normal HDB LCM without GUI. So after that, you have a standard steps to be followed, where you are providing inputs to command line as well as graphical user interface, where you are giving your host name, your SID names. There you can configure your memory power, memory configurations, everything. So all these inputs, once you all give this all inputs, and it's the HDB LCM helps you install HANA 2.0 on your system. So once we install HANA, you have to perform some post installation steps for HANA, creating your HANA cockpit users for database administrator. We will see in some time what is this HANA cockpit. Also create personal HANA users for database administrator at a DB level. Then change the password of the default users in your HANA tenant and system database. Configuration changes to SAP HANA system. If you have any configuration changes, standard changes, where you are changing your memory, changing your configurations related to database, you can do those changes. Run technical consistency check of your SAP HANA database. Then you have, as far as your compliance policies, you can encrypt your data log and data volumes and log volumes and backups. You can encrypt those. Then perform a complete backup of SAP HANA tenants and system database. And after this particular backup, you have to have register this HANA system in your solution manager for SAP Solution Manager to start monitoring or configuring your HANA system. Also, you have to set up your SAP remote connections for SAP to log into your system. So you will set up the remote connection to the HANA also. So now if you see this entire process for this particular webinar, we will never be able to show you this entire process. But this entire process, step by step, is been covered with the program which or the training program what we are offering. So all this installation step, post installation step, all the deployment scenarios, whatever we are going to see also, will be done with a customized lab setups during the training program. So we just wanted to give you an overview of what we can or what you need to learn or how we will go through this particular program. So that is how this particular, but that's why we have just put steps or installation and post installation steps. So after in 2011, where HANA was introduced. Now HANA first was introduced for only for finance, and then slowly and gradually SAP has built HANA on for their product portfolio also. If you see here a timeline, 2012 SAP BW powered by SAP HANA. 2013 you have a business suite. Then you 2014 you have SAP HANA for finance. Then in 2014 you have SAP S4 HANA, which is nothing but your the let's say today's, if you talk about an R3 system, ECC system, you have S4 HANA as a fourth generation system, which will help you consolidate most of your business suite systems into one system with a simplified data model, new user experience with SOP Fiori, advanced processing. A lot of enhancements has been done with the business processes also with respect to S4 HANA. In 2016, SAP also have supported SAP BW for HANA. Now, SAP BW for HANA has taken uh, OLAP system or an analytical system at a different level altogether. Think about a BW system without a view or an aggregate and you just running a query in a BW system and you're just finding out your report or the result within seconds. Think about it. No background processing required now because all the data processing or analytical data processing is done directly in memory. In 2004, SAP also have supported C4 HANA, which is your next version of customer for HANA. So all this 7-8 years, SAP has been building all this HANA capabilities to support all these products, and soon SAP plan to provide all its product portfolio on SAP HANA, and soon you will have that particular all product portfolios on SAP HANA. So this is nothing but a timeline view for understanding a product, which is what just we have seen. So here, what we are looking at is, say, for example, for any platform or for any thing to evolve or uh, to get better, we need a lot of data. We need a lot of analysis. So since 2010-11, where you have a first introduction of SAP HANA, SAP has been running all the pilot projects with large customer base. They have been collecting data, feedbacks. They have been studying requirements, industry requirements, uh, system requirements, and everything. And by each and every move or each and every version they have put in or introduced a product portfolio, they have considered everything which they have gathered from their past experience and put. So today, at we are talking about S4 HANA would be one of the I would say a very simplified uh, version of an ERP system one can have. So there are three transition scenarios we have for S4 HANA. So any customers who are looking to implement SAP, they can have a complete directly a new implementation from their non-SAP system into SAP HANA S4 HANA system. So it will be a complete new implementation. There are some customers who are already running SAP ERP systems or BW systems or their existing ERP system. they can do a conversion of their existing system with S4 HANA. So the conversion from your SAP system, ERP systems to S4 HANA is possible. Then also for a larger system base or for a larger customer base, we can think about transforming your entire landscape. If you see a lot of applications can be migrated, selectively migrated into your S4 HANA system. As you see in the diagram, from older systems, we can just migrate FICO with landscape transformation into your S4 HANA system. Or you can consolidate your system across globe. Let's say there's a company which is a multinational company with business around, let's say, 100 countries. They have multiple system, region-wise or country-wise, country-specific. They can consolidate all those systems into your SAP HANA. So this landscape transformation projects helps a lot with respect to reducing your cost of ownership, simplification, the complexity of your IT infrastructure and everything. So all these transition scenarios are possible with SAP S4 HANA. Some facts about S4 HANA. So when we are talking about facts, so S4 HANA is built on SAP HANA as a database. It is nothing but an ERP, CRM, SRM, SCM, and PLM system in one system. So look at the power which has been given to the product S4 HANA. All these five systems can come together, and you will have only one system, that is S4 HANA. No locking, parallelism. Actual data is 25%, and historical data is 75%. So basically, what we are talking here is the compression of your data, which you can achieve. Then unlimited workload capacity, because there are multiple ways you can distribute your HANA system also, which will give you a higher throughput. We're talking about 1800 times faster analytics and reporting. Look at 1800 times faster reporting from BW system. So this is tremendously powerful with respect to for the business who are information critical or time critical decision making can be done with this kind of a faster reporting or analytics. So we have 7 times higher throughput. Then we are talking about new data, all data. Let's say text, geographical processing, all kind of data will be able to process in S4 HANA. We're talking about SAP Fiori as a user interface, which can help user stay on top of the data from their mobile, desktops, tablets, wherever possible. You have 3 deployment option as far as SAP S4 HANA is concerned. This is on-premise, public cloud, and managed cloud. So we will see those deployment scenarios. But what we are talking about is a very advanced functionality for businesses today. So looking at the migration to your S4 HANA system, this can run as a parallel project to your systems, existing systems. So it should not hamper your business on your production systems, and it can run as a parallel. So you have no changes while till you migrate to the system. You can do fit gap analysis way in advance on your S4 HANA system for your business processes. You can do all of that particular thing well in advance before you starting a project itself. So it's just nothing but what is going to change in this entire process is nothing but your HANA database. So migration is only, let's consider this as a database migration to your HANA database. Your application still remains the same if you choose to be on your ERP systems with certain PHP levels. We definitely can have the same systems, but which is taking advantage of SAP HANA as a database. So migrations are possible without interrupting your existing systems. So these are some of the deployment options which we were talking about. So we have 3 deployment options: on-premise, hybrid, and cloud. So on-premise, where we are talking about the systems or your HANA system is running at the customer's data center. You have a hybrid model where you can leverage SAP Cloud or any cloud for your IT infrastructure. So you can combine, let's say, your production systems can be in your on-premise, and rest of your development quality systems can take advantage of cloud processing, or you can achieve, or you can also have a complete build and deploy, or all the applications coming from your cloud. So as HANA and S4 HANA provides this three deployment option depending on your say the policy, I would say, or rather the business. This would be definitely, there are these three options are possible. So let's get a little bit into SAP HANA as an architecture. So SAP HANA is an in-memory database management system, as we have been talking about, and all related information of the system or applications, data processing, everything runs from the RAM that is in main memory, significantly accelerating the data processing operation. So whether it's an application services or processing services, that is OLTP service, your OLAP systems, or your integration systems, all systems can take leverage of SAP HANA, as this particular platform supports your applications, that is OLTP systems, OLAP systems, and integration systems. So we have at an architecture level, we can have a single container systems or multi-container systems. Here we are talking about having a multiple databases as a tenant databases in one HANA system. So you can adapt this particular container, a single container or multi-container, depending on your needs. So SAP HANA gives you this feasibility that you can have multiple databases as a tenant databases into one HANA system. So think about this. You have one HANA systems which is having, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tenant databases. So your efforts to manage the IT, or let's say your administrative efforts, are less. Your systems can perform better. You have hardwares which are supporting, or you can set up your DRs or replication servers according to. So instead of setting up 5 DR servers, you can have one DR server which is supporting this particular HANA system. So multi-container database systems are possible. So you can choose between single and multi-container systems. So now let's think about a combination of your ABAP, or let's say SAP system or non-SAP system. So it's not that only on your HANA database you can run SAP applications. Any application which requires a database operations can be converted into your HANA database. So your SAP system as well as your native systems can run together as a multi-container database in the same HANA database. And the resources, so you can manage your resources according to tenant. Say, for example, the critical system or non-critical system, you can allocate your memory, or you can allocate your CPUs according to your uh, the criticality, or let's say importance of that particular tenant database. So one to end tenant database identified. Matlab, the end tenant database are possible. So you have different tenant in one single system. And here we are seeing a system database. Here also in the previous slide we have seen there is something called system database. So system database is nothing but this is, you can consider that there is a database which holds the entire information about your entire infrastructure which is managed. So how many tenants you have, what are the configuration, what are the distribution of your the storage units. Because if you think about such a huge system, say for example there are companies which holds 22 terabytes, 30 terabytes, 100 terabyte systems also as a DB size. So definitely you will have a distributed storage environment for those particular systems. So those all information is stored into this system database. This particular database you will have, whether you choose a single or a multi-tenant database, this system database is common. So we are talking about this particular, we are talking about the scaling up or distributed or a large database systems. So there are two possibilities, or I would say there are two approaches you can consider. So you have a single server approach, which is we call scale up approach, and there is one approach called scale out approach, which is nothing but distributing your database over a cluster of or multiple systems. So basically, when you are doing your quick sizing for the project, so this particular approach you will decide in your sizing approach. So whether you will have a single server. So today, let's say if I'm thinking from a perspective of let's say 2020, I'm implementing SAP HANA, S4 HANA for my organization. And if I have a change in database or increase in database at 20% or 20% to 30% every year, so after 10 years, what will be my database size? Will my hardware will still support that particular database? As something which we will, what you need to think about well in advance. So if you are going with a single server approach, you will add up memory, CPU, and disk if it is required. So means that you have one server which you are scaling it up, okay, and to manage your future needs. But if you're talking about a scale out approach, where we are adding systems into the setups. So for example, today I have HANA database on one server. Today, after 2 years, I can add one more complete server to the system, and where HANA database will be distributed on both of these servers. So you think about a BW system with, let's say, 30 terabyte systems. It can have a three distributed systems holding this 30 terabyte. Gives you a lot of benefit over performance, because your and SAP HANA manages that particular distributed environment by itself with different index servers and name servers. It will enhance your performance because you are scaling out your database across the system, and you have you have an ability to load balance your request depending on the database storages. So it gives you a performance, it gives you a scalability option, so you will not worry about future needs. If any sudden data increase, let's say for example you are taking over some company and you are, say, let's say, carving in that particular company into your database, so sudden increase in that particular database size, so all those worries of a business will be left off with this scale out approach. So think about a database distributed across system is a scale out. This is how it looks like. So in your HANA database cockpit also, the screen which shows you have multiple servers, which is acting as a scale out approach for HANA system. So here if you see HANA node 1, 2 terabyte RAM, HANA node 2, 2 terabyte RAM, HANA node 3, 2 terabyte RAM. DB instance is same. You have scaled up, so the storage is scaled out across the three systems as one single HANA data. Okay. So this is how we look at this particular scale out approach. Now, with your HANA, system replication is also, definitely it has to be possible. So you can build up your system replication primary and secondary side also across with whatever compliance and policies you have with your business. But with HANA database, you can build your replication server also. And if as an administrator, building this particular replication server is very easy, very effective. uh, SAP HANA has Python script which makes this particular job very easy, and we can monitor this particular replication uh, at each node, at each level, each I would say file level also. So there's a good integration into the system replication part also. So these are some of the components what we are talking into a HANA database. So if you see here, we have seen two databases, that is one system database and tenant database. So system database contains name server, compiler server, pre-processing servers, where your tenant database will have your access engine, which is advanced runtime access engine plus index server. It doesn't have compiler and processing server, which is there only with the system database. So all kinds of connection, let's say for example, any SQL request, any HTTP request from SAP system, from a non-SAP system, or web-based, any web-based application is possible to your HANA system. So these are some of the core processes which runs is in HANA database. Daemon runs first to start all the processes and keeps them running. Index server is the main server, which is nothing but a database process. So in a multi-tenant database environment, you will have multiple index servers, which is actually taking care of the data loads, queries, calculations, and everything. So this index server is the main process which handles the database. Name server, as we have seen in system database, knows about the database landscapes and knows about the data distribution. So in the scale-up approach, it also knows about where the data has been distributed across. Preprocessor feeds unstructured data, that is text, documents, anything into your SAP HANA system. Compile servers do the compilation of your stored procedures and programs when the system starts, or if any new program has been designed or called for. Access Engine is a web service component, which is also called an application server, which takes care of which becomes an entry point of your HTTP request. Or SAP Start Service is responsible for your starting and stopping of your services. So these are the core services of your SAP HANA system. This is a memory pool for your HANA database. So you have the complete memory pool, which is a virtual memory. You have used memory. You have table data. So all these memories, because we are talking about terabytes of main memory, so we also have to have this particular memories allocated according to your best performance of your system. So which we these all memories are configurable. We will be able to configure depending on our scenarios. So this is a general database management system where we have a database system, where we have actual database, we have processes, and we have memory. So looking at this particular database management system, SAP HANA also have the same structure, I would say, for to as a database architecture. So as a database administrators or a technology consultants, we have some of these particular tasks which we need to perform as a database administrator on a HAP HANA database, which is some of your management tasks, your performance optimization, maintenance activities, your life cycle management activities, diagnosis of your any performance related issue or any configuration related issue, backup and restores for your business continuity. So these all database administration tasks. Previously, we have multiple, for all of this particular task to perform, we have multiple tools, and we used to have multiple tools, and we to do this entire database administration. But with SAP HANA, SAP has developed a centralized tool called SAP HANA Cockpit, which helps you most of this particular task can be done from this only one tool. So it makes your or a database administrator's life a little easier. So database management includes your alerts, your services, properties, your users, security, your backup, talking about your monitoring of your trace files, troubleshooting, auditing, encryption, all these things, all these administrative tasks we can perform from database HANA, SAP HANA cockpit. So database monitoring includes your database monitoring, your resources monitoring, your performance monitoring. So database monitoring is nothing but your tenant databases, alerts, all the services are running on your for the tenant databases. Resource utilization, how is your memory is getting utilized, how is CPU, disk performing, network performing, how about your swap. So all this resource utilization we can monitor. Then we also have performance monitoring, connections, transactions, statements, table usage, threads, sessions. So all this in a detailed performance analysis you can perform at a database performance monitoring. So performance analysis, if we go a little deeper, we have SQL plan cache, statement hints, workload management, workload analysis, capture and play. So all this as a database administrator or a performance analysis of a SAP HANA database, you need to have all these tools or all these tasks which you have to perform as a database administrator. So for tools, we have native and non-native tools for SAP HANA administration. So non-native tools called includes SAP Solution Manager, SAP Landscape Management, SAP IT Operation Analytics. And native tools, we have SAP HANA Cockpit, as I told you. And for HANA 1.0, we have SAP DB, Control Center, and SAP HANA Studio. SAP HANA Studio is a Eclipse-based application SAP has developed for managing your databases. So let's see administration non-native application. So in SAP Solution Manager offers an end-to-end application lifecycle management So basically, it's a end-to-end application or end-to-end management tool, SAP Solution Manager, where you have root cause analysis, your early watch reports, your monitoring of your certain parameters or your database instances. Everything can be done from your solution manager. So all the reports and your performance monitoring also we can get from solution manager. SAP landscape management you have where you can have these particular tasks or where you have this repetitive task of cloning, copying, or refreshing your database, and everything can be automated, or we can manage through this for the entire landscape. So you have multiple systems in the landscape. Also, you can manage through SAP landscape management. And SAP landscape management runs on SAP NetWeaver Java, where SAP Solution Manager runs on Java. SAP IT Operation Analytics provides the holistic view of the entire data center in real time. So this is very important tool which SAP has developed for data centers monitoring. It analyzes massive amounts of data uh, with respect to your data centers, system logs, traces, and everything, and it gives you views or let's say a current status of your data center in dashboards, where you can do a lot of predictive analysis also because you can you are viewing or we are dealing here with a very large amount of data, and it runs on a exchange or access classic HANA access classic engine, which is a part of your HANA database. So these are non-native administration or administration tools we have. Now native tools we are talking about. So from HANA 2.0, so if you see on a SAP DB Control Center here, if you see, it is managing only for SAP HANA 1.0 version, and we have HANA Cockpit and HANA Studio, which are right now uh, being used to manage your SAP HANA 2.0 database. So HANA Cockpit is a web-based centralized administration tool which has been introduced from HANA 2.0, and it is actually a tool which also absorbs all the capabilities of your DB control center also. So previously they used to have a DB control centers, but in HANA Cockpit you have all the functionality of it. So basically it is installed as a single stack, but it does not require any dedicated instance, and it also has a SAP Fiori new user interface. So basically HANA 2.0 Cockpit can help you monitor all your landscape, all your database, HANA databases at one single place. It requires, as I say, it is installed as a single stack system with 16 GB RAM and 16 GB database, which will help you save all the monitoring and analytical data for all your systems. And with this particular tool, or you can perform all your configuration, monitoring, and analytics on all analysis function within this entire single tool. So, and HANA Studio, as I told you, it's an Eclipse environment which was designed to manage the database. So, SAP is no longer doing any developments on SAP HANA Studio, but it is right now still has been delivered as a part of the standard, standard delivery. But they are not doing any the future development on SAP HANA Studio. So, in and all, we will have SAP HANA 2.0 Cockpit will be the main and only native tool for administration, monitoring, and running for your all the on-premise systems or cloud systems and all these databases. So SAP HANA 2.0 Cockpit. So this is the main tool we are using. So if you think from a perspective where if I as a database admin or a technology consultant, if I'm thinking from perspective, so I see there is a huge potential into the database. There is a new way business has been looking at towards the system. So we have designed this complete HANA administration course, which is a combination of all this uh, standard SAP delivered courses for installation and administration, monitoring and performance monitoring, your authorization, security, your migrations, everything, which basically this particular entire course will help you as a certified technology associate for HANA. So you can be prepared for that particular certification with this particular complete HANA administration course. So my intent was here in this particular webinar was to introduce you about, to show you the capabilities of SAP HANA as a database, what it can do in near or far future for our ERP systems, and how business will, you know, run, or I would say rather revamped with this particular HANA 2.0 platform. So this is what I had to say for today.
So, guys, due to less time and restriction here, we will have to wind this off right now. But thank you so much for great participation. And in case you are still interested to know more about SAP HANA, you can leave us a note post the session. You'll receive a survey form wherein you can definitely leave your inputs about the session today, as well as your questions and query, if any. Also, if you want, we can specifically have a batch run to uh, make you know more about this particular tool. So please leave us a note there and we'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Also, the recording will be available. I will repeat that again. We will be sharing the recordings with you, everyone who was present here, on your email addresses that you have mentioned while registering. So do not worry about certain sections being missed. You will still have it with you. Okay, so with that, I think we are good for today. And please do leave us the thoughts and feedbacks about session today. And we will be looking forward to have you on more sessions further. What you see in front of you on screen is again what we could have done for the virtual sessions and e-learning systems. With that, I'll bid you goodbye for today evening and wish you a lovely evening further. Please take care, stay indoors, and be safe. Thank you so much.